Hello everybody and welcome to another amazing video of DIY investing. My ultimate goal for this cycle is to see everybody that watches this channel make a lot of long-term profit and sustain that long-term profit into the coming cycles ahead. I don't know if we're ever going to have the same sort of cycles like what we're going to see with this bull run continuing to play out from here, which is why it pays to be early and to be ready and positioned for this bull run, because if it truly is the biggest one, we don't want to miss out on any of the potential gains that it offers. For today's video, I'm going to be breaking down this market cycle, the significance of the reversal that we just saw, and where I believe that we're going to be headed over the next couple years. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and with that being said, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are to start off today's video, and I figured today would be a great opportunity to break down this chart that I drew and more or less map out the way that I think that the market is playing out. Now when we're looking at this exact chart, we're looking up here at the Bitcoin bear market in 2015. We're looking at the beginning of the new cycle in 2016, and then we're looking at 2017 being where we ran towards new all-time highs. But as of right now, our current market cycle, and what we're looking at is the total market cap, right? So this is all of crypto compartmentalized inside of this one index. So when we're looking at all of this, notice how we did the exact same sort of bear market pattern. The same sort of setup all the way through. It was a similar setup inside of our bear market, but then the bottom formation, this is the thing that's very important to understand. What we saw in 2015 was a double bottom formation, and I've talked a lot about these over the last few days because they're very important to understand. When you have a double bottom formation and you break out of the range highs, that confirms a reversal of the entire prior trend. So if this is happening at the bottom of a bear market, then your entire target would be the prior all-time high because it's a complete trend reversal. So when we're looking at the total market cap, we have to remember that we did this exact same pattern. A lot of altcoins never made a lower low. So when we're looking at the total market cap, it holds this same support. We see nothing but a retest of that low, right? So we saw the same pattern, a double bottom formation. One bottom here, second bottom here, and then we've been working on a breakout. The only difference here is Bitcoin immediately broke out and flipped that range high, where we've been kind of working and building on that before we broke out right here. So our setup is a little bit different. We're kind of getting a hybrid between the breakout and then this first sort of consolidation, because if we're looking at our consolidation that we went through, we made this first impulse, but we barely cleared the range highs, right? So it wasn't nearly to the significance of what we saw at the beginning of that 2017 bull run, but nonetheless, we still see the same sort of price action, right? Where once we top, we went through 200 days of consolidation, which I checked the time frames from the exact high of this breakout to the point of us breaking out again was a little over 200 days. So we see inside of this move from there all the way over almost the same length of consolidation, about 200 days. This one was 190 days. This one was about 200 days. So we see a little bit of a difference, but once again, it's the same setup. We see the first breakout, the higher high into the new bull market. We consolidate sideways. We build that sort of ascending support, and then we go in for a new high. So where I think we're at, I mean, it's its own sort of thing, obviously. We're not doing an ascending triangle. This isn't an ascending triangle. It's just its own sort of, I mean, you would really look at this as more of just a sideways channel. It didn't really do anything besides go sideways back and forth. So the pattern's different. The setup's different. We didn't actually break out of this double bottom formation until this move here. So I still think that it's valid. We did break out, but it took us a little bit longer. So what we're seeing is a difference between the two cycles. Obviously, none of them are ever going to be 100% the same, but it's understanding what is taking place big picture that points towards the conclusion that the market is going to be taking long term as well. What we see here is a confirmed breakout. We've broken out from all resistance. Not only have we broken out from this bottom over here, but we broke out from this channel that we had been consolidating in throughout all of here. So now when we're looking at this, I think that we're looking at something kind of like this where we're going to see this next leg up. But I think that this is where we run up back to that lower high, right? That's kind of my main target. That's what I've been watching for a long time because so far it is a little bit of a different setup. Now, I think that this is important to understand because when we're looking at this and seeing such a major reversal, even if Bitcoin or the total market cap decided to pull back here and retest that prior high as a breakout, I think that that would just be nothing more than a good opportunity that we are, probably lucky to get at that point before that next leg up actually starts. So I'm not really too worried about a correction if we do get it. I'm looking at things on a macro point of view because this is the way that we make the most money inside of the bull runs. One of the things that I think is going to ultimately see the most adoption in this cycle, and probably where the majority of the institutional money ends up coming into, is the total DeFi market cap. So this is the index of DeFi, but what I was realistically meaning was I believe DeFi is going to be the epicenter of the institutional adoption, which, I mean, makes the most sense, obviously, considering these are institutional banks, corporations, clients, all of those things. So they're going to be flocking to this DeFi opportunities in the protocols. They're going to be looking at different coins. They're going to be looking at building their own blockchain infrastructure, potentially launching their own coins as well. But that's what we're going to end up seeing big picture. So when we're looking at all of this, it's super, super important that we're understanding where we're actually at in the big picture. Because if we're looking at our all-time descending resistance from this resistance all the way at the top of this last cycle to where we're currently at today, we're right now just barely working on that breakout. So as the total market cap is already broken out from all descending resistance, it did that forever ago at the beginning of 2023, the DeFi market cap has been consolidating way below it because look how much it dropped in its bear market. Now, the reason I say that DeFi is the best opportunity is mainly because I believe the institutions will flock here first, and it's sitting at $57 billion total market cap. There's not very much money in this. If we're looking at DeFi becoming the future of finance, $57 billion in total market cap is honestly insane. We should be looking at this at 100x that value, 5 trillion in my opinion. And that's more along the lines with what I think we'll be topping at in the next cycle, at least a couple trillion, just because of where, I mean, if we genuinely see DeFi institutions all take off at the exact same time, we're going to end up seeing DeFi as a whole end up going to insane valuations that people just never expected. And it has everything to do with the fact that this is where people can actually earn yield. This is where they can do all of the things in the normal financial markets. They can trade perpetuals. They can do all of these different options. There's so many different ways for people to earn money inside of DeFi, and that's why having such a low market cap points this towards having the biggest opportunity for upside long term. Now, assuming we're breaking out of this, we have to also understand that we're still technically below the short-term resistance, but if you guys notice here, we're working right at that horizontal resistance right here at the range highs, but then we're also right at that descending resistance as well, working on some type of a breakout. Now, if you guys notice, we have confluence between both of these points. Both of these are converging at the exact same time in price. That means it's a very, very strong signal. Now, if we reject, then we can come back down and end up retesting prior highs in here. If we're holding a breakout and we do see more continuation from this point, we're not only breaking out from horizontal resistance and making a confirmed higher high and the first higher high out of the bear market, but we would also be breaking out of all descending resistance of our prior bear market as well. So that gives us all of the confirmation that we would need for upside. The big thing and reason I think that this has also more potential than the rest of the markets is because if we grab the price tool, we literally don't have any resistance until pretty much here at $100 billion in total market cap. There's almost nothing. This entire sell-off that we went through during the Terra Luna collapse, this thing just pretty much caved. And so there is almost no resistance until you get all the way up to here to $100 billion. So that's kind of what I would be anticipating if we are able to break out from this resistance. A fairly quick impulse all the way up to this level. If things get absolutely absurd in DeFi, then maybe it runs up a little bit higher. But to me, that's just the most obvious resistance, considering the fact this is the range highs here, the consolidation below this level. We don't really have any resistance until we get all the way back up to 100 billion. So the upside potential with this one is just a little bit higher than the rest of the market. Comparing it to the total market cap, this thing will increase a lot more. Total market cap has already increased a lot because of Bitcoin, but DeFi, I believe, is going to kind of front run the rest of the altcoin market. We're going to see the smart money kind of flocking towards that, as I believe they've already been doing so. We've seen a lot of different protocols that have been blowing up inside of DeFi, and I believe that that's ultimately an early sign of what's to be expected moving forward from here. And like I said, guys, if we are getting ready for the institutional cycle, like I believe we are, we have to expect that the majority of that money is going back into DeFi and DeFi related things. So invest into it, look into it, research different narratives that you think are going to be profitable inside of DeFi. I've been sharing with you guys a few that I think are going to take off in a big way. Overall, seeing the total market cap making a similar type of cycle as 2017 doesn't mean it's going to have to 100% play out in the same way, but seeing the same sort of similarities gives me confidence to keep holding this cycle, and I hope that it did the exact same thing for you. At the end of the day, guys, like I said, I want to see everybody here make the most money possible. I want to see everybody profit long term when we're talking, even the next couple, 3, 4, or 5 years from now, I want to make sure that everybody is positioned in the best possible ways. And the only way we can do that is to kind of ignore these shorter term market movements, intraday timeframes, things like that, and continue to focus on the long-term trend. Because like I've stated and pointed out in this video, the long-term trend has honestly never looked better. And I think that that's what we should continue to focus and set our sights to, is the macro view. And that's talking the end of 2025 when we're looking at a real cycle top. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to get access to my Discord server, if you guys want to check my socials, links are in the description for that. If you guys would also like to see how I'm investing, how I'm positioning myself, different cryptos I'm buying, selling, trading, and all of that stuff, links are in the description. Go ahead and sign up on my website. Right now I'm doing a discount, so if you want to sign up, you guys can just go in the description of this video and you'll find all of the different links to find what you need. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and with that being said, I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.